Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm an RN and a lactation consultant, and I'm here today with Erica and Waylon, and we're going to talk about one of the biggest concerns that she had coming home from the hospital.
All right. Yeah, when I came home from the hospital, I was completely lost as to really know how much my baby was getting fed. In 2007, I had a breast reduction surgery, so therefore I didn't know the way my milk ducts were working. And it's now 2020, and I have this little guy. And my biggest question coming home from the hospital was, how much is my baby getting from my breast milk?
So like Erica, a lot of moms come to me and want to know, how do I know my baby's getting enough? That's the number one concern people have because your breasts don't have an ounce marker on them. You can't see, okay, we're 2 ounces in, baby must be good. So there's a couple signs that we can do that will show you without going to the doctor, without doing a pre and post feeding weight, how to know your baby's getting enough. In the early days, day 0 to 5, baby stomachs are very, very small. This video is actually going to be geared more towards after day 5 when mom's milk has increased and baby should be taking full feeds at that time. There's a few ways that you can know your baby is getting enough to drink at the breast. The first way is your baby eating 8 or more times in 24 hours? Babies need to eat a minimum of 8 times. It's an average of every 3 hours, but they don't always have to eat every 3 hours. Sometimes they might eat every hour and a half, every hour and a half, every hour and a half, and then go a 4-hour stretch. As long as they're gaining weight well, they can go that 4-hour stretch and make up for it by getting those 8 total feeds in 24 hours. The second way that you can tell that your baby's getting enough to eat is by hearing swallows at the breast. And this is a very, very important one. If baby Waylon was latched right now, we would want to know, is he eating efficiently or is he eating inefficiently? Babies do both throughout the feed, but we want to make sure that you're hearing those swallows. They sound like a pa or a ka. And if you hear your baby sound like they're chugging at the breast, that's a really good sign because babies don't swallow air when they're latched. Another thing that you can look for is the baby's chin does a pause. So a lot of times they'll go suck, suck, swallow, suck, suck, swallow. And that chin pause is what lets you know he's getting a mouthful of milk. When he's sucking and swallowing, he will have periods of resting. Babies need to coordinate their suck, swallow, and breathe. So a lot of times they'll go suck, suck, swallow, suck, suck, swallow, suck, suck, swallow, and then and catch their breath. That is very normal, but you do want to make sure that when your baby's latched on the breast, that you are seeing a lot of those active sucks and swallows and not just the little tiny sucks with no swallows. The third way that we can tell that baby is getting enough is a lot of times moms will have a sensation of full breasts before the feed and soft breasts afterwards.
And for me, my breasts were really full and lumpy as well. So after Waylon would feed, the breast would release and it would feel very soft and those lumps would no longer be there.
The fourth way that we can tell that babies are getting enough is one that you can actually physically see all the time. So that is baby giving it back to you. If they are not peeing and pooping, you know they're probably not getting enough because they're holding on to everything. After day 5, we're looking for a minimum of 6 wet diapers and 2 to 3 or more poops. However, once baby hits about 4 to 5 weeks, there's a protein shift in the breast milk and babies might go to having many small poops to 1 or 2 large poops per day. How do you know that baby Waylon is getting enough?
Baby Wade, he pees probably about 10 times and then usually about 1 to 2 poops in his diaper.
Awesome. And he's now 2 months old. Another way that you can know that baby's getting enough is by watching their hunger cues. A lot of times when babies are hungry, they're going to be a little bit wiggly, a little more alert. You might notice that they have stiff hands, they're moving around. He looks like he's starting to get a little bit hungry coming up here. That is how babies act before a feed. After a good feed, after they've had a full feed, they've got all that milk inside their stomach, they tend to get very relaxed. Their hands go from tight fists to loose hands. They might fall asleep. They might have milk dribbling from their chin. And a lot of times they have kind of like that little flutter eye look. That is all signs that baby has had a really good feed. The last way to know that your baby is truly getting enough at the breast is by weight gain. Babies all lose weight until about day 3. They level out on their weight loss by day 4, and they start to gain by day 5. After day 5, these babies should gain about half an ounce to an ounce a day. Generally, we prefer an ounce, but if all is well, we're okay with half an ounce. Of course, if you have any concerns about your baby, about your ability to breastfeed your baby successfully, or if your baby's getting enough, please reach out to your local lactation consultant, and I'll see your pediatrician.